everyone, what's up and what's happening? This is Mikedot here for OnRPG here at the New York Comic Con, and then we're just taking a look at Age of Wushu, a massive multiplayer MMORPG developed by Snail Games. And with us today is Tyler, product manager, I guess. Yeah. Project manager for Snail Games, here to tell us about the game. So for those that don't know, what is Age of Wushu?
Age of Wushu is a true wuxia base, which is like, think of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, those old fairy tales, or just all about nature and surrealism from Chinese folklores. It's kung fu basically. It's just learning martial arts, being the master of martial arts in general. There's no classes, no levels in the general sense of that. You can join schools and pick up skills that way and then cultivate those skills. But in true martial arts fashion, like in the old ways, you can pick and choose your skills from different martial arts schools and make your own style of martial arts. It's the ultimate customizational skill bar. If you like bows and you like a little bare hand, you can fix that in. If you like some swords and throwing knives, you can mix those in with anything you want. There's 9 different styles of skill slot that you can set it up and change around with. And leveling is not normal leveling. You pick that skill that you like and you cultivate by leveling up that skill, but you yourself don't grow as a leveler.
Okay, so there's I believe 8 different schools that you can choose from.
There's 8 schools you
like
can
Shaolin,
Tang,
the beggar sect,
yeah.
Tang. There's a whole bunch. Those are the 2 that stand out: Shaolin and beggar sect.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I want to play personally. Okay, so there's 8 different schools, different skills that you can learn from them. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Okay, well, each school has their own special inner skill, which is more of a buff that you constantly have with yourself. It's like the Shaolin have a certain toughness about them that they can grow on, which this character we have right now is a Shaolin. There's a meditation that they have which gives them an inner force that's stronger than everybody else because they're very clean on the inside, which when you get into later in the game, you can't drink if you're Shaolin. It hurts your Shaolin status. But but at the same time, the beggars have skills that enhance when you're drunk. So if you want to get drunk, you can't be a Shaolin, but it helps you out as a beggar.
Get tanked. That's the best way. Get tanked. Then my kung fu skills just level up for getting
You get your drunken master going on. The Tang men are more of a very sly group of people. That's why they use a lot of the throwing stars and stuff like that. Wu Dang is where, if you do historically, where Tai Chi came from. So they have a lot of slow sword movements that are very like smooth looking, but also extremely fast and deadly if it can be. But Shaolin is like, I got my fist, I've got my staff, I'm just going to bludgeon you until I feel happy about myself.
That's definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So with their different schools, they constantly war together, right?
Yeah.
Or not, right?
If I'm Shaolin, I'm a very happy person, I'm a very peaceful person, but if I'm Royal Guard, I'm going to go invade Shaolin and take their books so I can learn those Shaolin skills. And if I'm Shaolin, I'm not going to like that, so I'm going to put up a fight. But you can do school battles, you can do guild battles if you have a certain beef with a school or a headmaster of a school, and you can create your guild to go fight those people. Or if you're offline, which we've talked about before, your character still plays on. And if I'm Shaolin, I can sign up to be a Shaolin patrol person at my temple or a Tang patrol. So when I'm offline, my character still lives on as a security guard, basically, for my temple or my school.
It's a really interesting concept, being able to just, when you basically go offline, your character becomes an NPC, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm. So pretty much the game is still going on, even when you're not on. Exactly. But that also raises some interesting questions. Like, I also heard that your character can get kidnapped and sold into slavery. So this brings an interesting question, like, where do I log out? Where's a safe place to log out? I mean, for a character like me, I would want to log out somewhere like on the top of a mountain, so no one can attack me.
But you won't be able to do anything if you're on top of the mountain. You want to be able to choose where you log in. If I log out in my temple or my school and I'm guarding that and nobody comes by, I'm not going to get that offline experience. I'm not going to get that offline honor that I would have. But if I'm in a city, I'm working in a street, I'm working in a bank, I'm doing my offline begging, and I'm making money by that. Or I can set up a stall where I'm offline and I can sell my blacksmithing goods and I can make currency or get experience. But if I'm in that city, while the reward's greater, the risk is so much greater because I could get kidnapped. Unless I have a bunch of friends who see me getting kidnapped, they can stop me.
I mean, with a system like this, do you think that players are going to be able to abuse this somehow? Do you think there's going to be a lot of creeping with some kind of system like this? Do you think? What do you think?
If I get kidnapped too much, we also have a system where you can make you can mark down your enemies in game. If you've killed me so many times randomly because it's open PvP, I'm going to put you on my hit list. And there are times where I've seen videos where people have placed bounties out for other people to go higher. Like, hey, listen, this guy's been egging me on. He's much higher, more cultivated than me. I know you're well done, and your guild can help me out. Here's some money, or here's some like recipes that I've learned that you need for your own economy. So can you go hunt them down?
See, that sounds amazing because so many MMOs out there with open world PvP they just don't do them right. To see a game with such meaningful open world PvP it's just a breath of fresh air. You know?
While it looks like an medieval Asian-based game, it has a very Wild West feel to it. You can go through the whole solo by yourself, man with no name, if you want to, and be a true kung fu master, or like Clint Eastwood, or you can join up with a posse of just Rough Riders, or as your guild. But and also in the Wild West, if you or your people feel threatened too much, you hire that mercenary, that bounty hunter to come in, or that Magnificent Seven guild to come riding into town to save your life.
Okay, so now there's many different professions that players can learn. You can be a painter, you can be a miner, you can be like you said, you can be a beggar.
Yeah.
You can be there's a whole bunch of professions. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Our professions are kind of based in 4 sections. There is the gathering section, which everybody can learn, which is simple. I can hunt by getting meat from animals, mining, getting ore from veins, like natural veins, farming, planting crops and stuff so I can get recipes for later, wood cutting and fishing. Then you take those core ingredients and then you go at our manufacturers. Our manufacturers you can only be one of. That's poison maker, herbalist, blacksmith, craftsman, cook, and tailor. I take the stuff that was gathered, maybe an herb here and some ore there, and I can mix it together and I can make a fine silk. Or one example is a farmer will grow crops like corn, and you'll find the silkworm, and that's where he's able to get silk for the tailor. And there's cultural classes like playing music, which is kind of like an old, I guess, Wushu Guitar Hero, because you start playing those old violins, and it has the key thing going on. Painting, calligraphy. The cool thing about painters and calligraphy is the writer, calligraphy person can write a skill book for you. You get a bunch of pages, they know what to do. They can make that skill book so you can learn a new skill as opposed to stealing it. And painters will give you buffs to learn from to help you grow in your life profession. And through all of this, the manufacturing and the gathering specifically, that's how our economy is based. I can't build a truly amazing sword or a great piece of armor without the help of a poison maker to poison my blade, a craftsman to make the true hilt, and a chef to sharpen the blade, because chefs are very knowledgeable in cutting through flesh.
Okay, so can you tell me a bit about the combat system? For the longest time, I've been confused what kind of combat system it is. Is it like a point and click? Is it turn-based? Is it action-based, action-oriented? I was just confused for the longest time. So what is the combat system?
It's action-oriented. In a very basic nutshell, we call it a rock, paper, scissors. There's 3 essential styles of combat: feints, parries, and overts, or normal attacks. Parry is a block. What you do is you set your parry. It's not a button you click constantly. You set a buff parry, and whenever I block you successfully, my parry goes off. I've seen parries where they affect your toughness, they affect your equipment, they stun you, they deal damage back to you, they ground you. So when you attack me and I block, that parry goes off. So to get around that, if your paper is covering my rock, I'm going to use scissors to cut through your paper, which is what the feint is. My feint tricks your block and goes around it and breaks your block, so you can't block for a few seconds, then I can go back to my normal punches. But the feint is such a weak move that a normal attack just crushes it. It just, yeah.
So that's the basic idea.
That's the basic
system.
Yeah.
But there's other different moves.
There's other moves. There's staff moves. There's moves where if you're in the air, I can counter you and grab you and throw you down. There's moves where, because of our free motion system, that you can do slide dashes to the side, but there's moves that prevent you from utilizing that, where you can't run on water and escape from me anymore.
So it's not really rock, paper, scissors, it's like rock, paper, lizard, spot.
Yes,
That's pretty much how it's like. Okay, so you already talked about professions, we already talked about the combat. What about the engine? The engine that this game is based on. I mean, it looks amazing for a free-to-play game with like nice visual water effects, like moving grass, just the whole visuals behind the whole visual system Age of Wushu just looked great. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
The Flexi engine is was designed in China. It's an old. It's been around for about 5. They've been developing it for 5 years. It's not old. There's never such thing as an old engine, because once an old engine is around, it's obsolete. But they've been developing it for 5 years. They've kind of taken their own ideas from the CryEngine. They basically wanted to make a free-to-play and easily accessible version of what they thought would make a beautiful CryEngine-esque type of thing. Which, I mean, everybody wants to make a CryEngine, but it's all developed in. It was developed in China. All the music that you hear in the game, the music from the trailer that you're hearing right now, all done on like it's MIDI essentially, but it sounds very like authentic, orchestral, and everything like that.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty impressive. So this plans to be a free-to-play game, but you're also asking for like pre-orders for special bonuses. Why do you decide to go with these kind of
Well, we have 2 closed betas, one in November, one in December to January, and we're offering until the 15th. Officially, we're doing a elite sale where you can go in, you get the pre-order bonuses, but you also get into those 2 betas. And the biggest thing is, the game will let you into the game on February 1st, and then you have 90 days for yourself and any other pre-order people to start building that character, start collecting your guild members, start honing down. So when everybody else comes in on May 1st, you can assist them better, or you can kidnap them better. Which is important about the guild situation, because guilds can buy plots of land and build their guilds in certain territories. So you want to get first come, first serve on buying that giant property and building your training dojo, your dance dojo, to help out ahead of time. Because May 1st comes, 9 days after February comes around, you can't get in that land. You're gonna have to start burning down guilds.
I'm just still hung up on the idea of just kidnapping people.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna start a huge guild and start a slave trade and start kidnapping people and make a whole lot of money just that way. Okay, also you also guys got Jet Li on board. That's impressive. Like,
that's a big thing, because I mean, Jet Li is a huge Wushu person. I mean, there are pictures of him at the White House when he was 12 years old doing Wushu. So he's a very well established and renowned, respected Wushu person. So for him to come out and basically be a spokesperson for a Wushu game speaks a lot for the values that Wushu has behind it, Age of Wushu has behind it.
Okay, that's really nice to know, but will he actually be in the game?
We've got some stuff going on. We have our founder and president from Snail in China. We put him into the game, so there's still a possibility of us getting Jet Li in there as being his own like lone monk master of himself.
That'd be amazing. I would love that. Okay, so basically, just to wrap things up, when is Age of Wushu coming out? When the beta test gonna start?
November is when the first beta begins, and then that will run for about 2 weeks. Then after that will be December. Then officially February 1st are the people who've done the pre-order will get into the game. Then 90 days after that, it becomes free to play to the rest of the people out there.
Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to mention?
No, I mean, just go to ageofwushu.com, check out the forums. We've got our system specs up there right now, so you can start building that PC ahead of time if you want to. Like us on Facebook at ageofwushu.com/Facebook, and then follow us on Twitter. Just keep up, because we have a lot more news coming out, and we'll give away closed beta keys and stuff like that for everybody.
That's going to be amazing. Okay, I just wanted to say that. Thank you for your time.
No,
I can't wait to play this game. I am going to be the first slave trader for this game.
Yes. What's that?
Yeah, I am going to be the first. I'm sorry. Just roll with it.
Jet Li's face is distracting.
Yeah, exactly. I am going to be the first slave trader for this game. I am going to start off in a little. I can be a cook in this game, right?
Yes.
So I want to start off a little, like I don't know, like a little restaurant, and I'm going to use that as a front for slave trade. That is going to be my plan.
You have a restaurant called Soylent Green. You're going to slave trade people and make them into your food.
All right, thank you for your time.
No
This
problem.
was
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.